got a fetish for my
Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a lovely, fabulous, happy day today. Today's video is gonna be a little crazy. My friend was telling me, they were like, girl, literally somebody could make a movie about your life. Like, this is so crazy. What you've been going through is absolutely insane. Like, I can't believe you're dealing with this situation. Like, this could be on Lifetime TV. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I'm going to share this story, put it out there in the world as a story time video because it is crazy. It is my life, and I need to start sharing more of these story times with you guys because the craziest things always seem to happen to me. I don't know if I just have like bad voodoo, bad juju, bad luck. I don't know what it is, okay? I don't know what in the world attracts these things to me, these crazy people to me, and these crazy situations. Like, I don't know, but let's get to it, okay? I'm sure if you read the title of this video, you can already tell, okay? I have a stalker, and this is not just, oh, I have a stalker. Like, no. You all, when I say I have a stalker, like, I legitimately have a stalker. And it is not something that I take lightly or anything. Like, I know I smile a lot, but this is something that has literally changed my whole entire life, okay? And that's what I was telling my friend today. I was like, it sucks living like this. Like, I don't even know if people realize how hard it is and how scary it can be whenever you're dealing with a crazy person, a stalker. I mean, it's a very serious situation. It's a very scary situation to be in because your life could be in danger. You could be at risk. Like, you have to be so careful and so safe. And if you're like a single mom like I am, then it's even more scarier, you know, because you have to be extra careful with everything that you do, everywhere that you go. If you go back on my channel and you look, you will see videos talking about I dated a pathological liar and the story time of my psycho ex-boyfriend, and those two videos go together, okay? That is the person that I am talking about in this video, okay? So if you want to go back and you want to watch those, kind of have some backstory about our relationship and how we met and things like that, then you can do that. I will link it up here. Right. So this person, a few years ago, all right, after we broke up, I moved, okay? Like, he had got me to move out of state with him, and I did. So I moved. I got me a townhouse after he went to jail. I thought, he's in jail, everything's fine, I'm safe, right? Okay, it is important to note that this guy has 2 children with 2 different women, okay? So he has 2 baby mamas, okay? I had this apartment, had this townhouse, was living my life, I was fine. I was, at the time, pregnant, and I did realize, like, a few months after I'd lived here, that his baby mama lived, like, a few townhouses down from me, okay? Like, it was a duplex, like an apartment complex, basically, with townhouses. So they were kind of all connected, and I could see her townhouse from my front door, and she could see mine, you know, from her front door, vice versa. So due to past experiences with this guy, when I found out he was living next to me in the townhouses, you know, that's why I went and got the restraining order. He called, went off on me, laughed about it, and was like, you know, you can't get away from me. There is nothing going to stop me from getting a hold of you. If I want to get a hold of you, you're mine. I own you. You're always going to be mine. Yada, yada, yada. Okay? And at this point, I was terrified. I was crying my eyes out. A couple days later, he ended up breaking into my apartment. Everything. Like, there were so many situations where I was just not safe in general, period. I ended up having to move again because every time I would call the police, he would get away. He would run. After I had got the restraining order on him, he had got my phone number from a mutual friend. And he literally called me laughing, like he thought that it was so funny that I got an EPO order on him, a restraining order. He was like, oh my God, you know, I'm not afraid of jail. Like, that's just a little piece of paper. Like, nothing's going to stop me from kicking in your front door and coming in on you. If I want to get in there, I'm going to get in there. No police is going to stop me. Nothing is going to stop me, especially a freaking piece of paper. He said, I love jail. Like, that's my second home. Like, okay, he's like, thinks he's Billy Badass, and he's not afraid of the police. He's not afraid of jail. And I used to think he just acted that way to pretend like he was tough, but no. I mean, the guy literally has been to jail more times than I can count, and it does not bother him. And that makes this even worse. At this point, when you're dealing with somebody who is literally not afraid of anyone, they're not afraid of the police, they're not afraid of any authority whatsoever, they think that they are unstoppable, it becomes a very dangerous situation. And like I had told my family, because my whole family, you know, I mean, they were like, we're going to kill him, we're going to protect you. And I was like, you all do not know what you're dealing with, okay? Like, you don't know what a psychopath this guy is. It doesn't matter, like, how crazy and psychopath he was, you know? And I was like, you can't, I mean, you literally would have to fight him. Well, that happened. Like, the first time he beat me up, I was, like, unrecognizable. And he put me in the hospital, and my family seen what happened. My brother immediately went over there, and some of my other family members had went and found him, and there was this ginormous fight outbroke, and he actually took like a crowbar, a police baton bar, and he like busted this older man's head open. He put like a 4.5-inch gash in this guy's head. It was so crazy. The police were called. There was blood everywhere, and he took off running in the woods. The police never found him. He would show back up and come back in on me, or I would be out at like a gas station, and here he would come. He would just show up on me. So it's a very bad situation for me, okay? He never stays out of jail long. Like, he always does crazy things, like breaking in on people, robbery, theft, domestic violence, drugs. So you name it, he's been to prison for it, okay? He even put a bomb in somebody's car. Somebody he was dating, and blew their car up several years ago. I mean, like, this is not a person that you play around with, okay? Like, you have to be extremely careful with this person. So I ended up moving, all right, because every time I called the police, like I said, he would get away. I was like, you know, I can't do this. I can't live here. His mother, okay, I mean, the mother is very sweet, like I mentioned this before, but he has her very manipulated. And, you know, I'm like, you know, she sees his criminal charges when he goes to jail. Like, why doesn't she put her foot down? Like, I mean, I know that's her kid, but at the same time, like, come on, you can't be okay with your son out here beating women up and kidnapping women and trying to kill them and blowing their cars up and breaking in on older people and just all of these things, you know? But she got to the point to where if she would see me out or something, she would call him and tell him, okay? Like, online, social media, she would see my photos or see whatever. They would make fake accounts to find out. So for years, I went into hibernation, you would say. Like, I moved to another town, moved to a new house. I had all of my utility bills in somebody else's name. It was like I had to turn myself into a ghost. And it's insane when you have to live that way, because you're like in fear for your life. And you can't, like, have your normal name on social media and all of these things. You have to watch out what you post. You have to watch out where you live. Like, it's a life that nobody wants to live. Like, it's so uncomfortable. But now that I have kids, it's even worse, you know? And you would think after, okay, that was like 5 years ago, okay? So after 5 years, I have not had to deal with him as much, okay? Because he's currently in prison, okay? Well, last summer, I seen one of his friends, okay? And all of these years, throughout all of these years, I have had to watch myself, okay? Because every time he's out of jail, he comes for me, okay? Luckily, for the past, 3 years, he has been in federal penitentiary prison. I will put up on the screen, what he did and try to blur out some of his information, because the last thing I want to do is put his name out there and make him even more crazy and mad and whatever. But throughout all of these years, even while he was in prison, he was sending people to follow me, hunt me down, find me, everything. Like, I would be out somewhere shopping and have to watch out, okay? Like, I have to watch what vehicles follow me home, okay? Now I have a house that has a garage and security cameras and a security system, and like my house, I have had to make it extremely secure because of all the things I've went through with this guy. And I seen one of his friends last summer, and oh my God, they were like, yeah, we talk to him all the time, you know, from prison. And they were like, he's still trying to find you, yada, yada, yada. Like, he asked us if we see you to let him know. And they were like, what are you doing here? And I told his friend, I was like, I don't even live here. I'm just visiting family. I live in another state. And you guys would be amazed if you knew how many times I've had to move because of this guy. Like, it's not healthy. It's like I cannot have a life. I cannot just settle down and make a home because I'm having to move so much because of this guy. You get me? And I thought that I was safe. And here I have been for the past year or so feeling like, okay, I'm safe now, okay? Because he was supposed to have 15 years in federal prison, all right? And I'm not as afraid of the people he sends after me as I am of him personally. I feel like if he's in prison, he's just going to send people to scare me, okay? Because I've never had somebody physically harm me that he's told to harm me. I've had people scare me. I've had people threaten me. I've had people follow me around and stalk me and send me bad things, but nobody's ever physically grabbed me while he was in prison. Every time he's out of prison, something really bad happens. He comes with a group of guys and gets me every single time, and it's so traumatizing and scary. And I don't know, I've never really let my guard down since the day he very first beat me up several years ago, and I realized the situation I was in. I've never, ever let my guard down, but I will say that over the past year, I've let it down a little bit, okay? I've been posting more on social media. I've been a little bit more lenient about being outside and being out and doing things. You know, I guess you could say I've let my guard down a little bit. And that's the worst thing that I could have done. But thankfully, over the past few years, I have took measures to be more safe now. Now I carry pepper spray with me everywhere I go. Now I know how to protect myself if something happens. I know I'm not stronger than him, and he would get the best of me, of course, but I have things in place to help me. And having my security system and all of my cameras around the home and 24-hour security monitoring and things like that, you know, I've thought, okay, I'm safe and he's in prison. But I've still kind of watched my back because I know that he sends people looking for me very frequently. Okay, so the craziest thing happened, okay? I found this new house in a gated community, okay? Very safe place, out in the middle of nowhere, okay? This place is so hard to find. It is down a million different roads, really far away. No one can find it, okay? And it's kind of off to itself, like literally in the woods, you would say. Done really good at having my utilities put in somebody else's name and things like that, okay? Because I know that he is very smart at finding these things out. I've had my driver's license somewhere else. Like, I have done everything, okay, to prevent this guy from finding me, all right? I do not use my legal name online. I use my nickname, like a lot of people call me Paris, but that is not my legal name. And the reason I use simply Paris is so he cannot easily track me down, okay? And yes, I've blocked him. I've blocked all of his family online. That does not matter. They continue to make fake accounts and stalk me. They do everything possible to try to get a hold of me. And I know you may be like, why? Like, I've asked myself the same thing, okay? And the other two women that have a kid with him, they are always there for him. Most women, he's very manipulative. They don't stand up to him. And I do, because, you know, I can't just put up with, I mean, I stayed in this relationship with him because I could not get out of it for a year, okay, where he beat me and abused me and did so many bad things to me, and it mentally put me in a very bad place. And now that I have children, like, I have to take even extra measures to protect my kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't let them be in this situation. I can't let anything happen to them. And I think it bothers him that I'm not the type of person that he can manipulate very easily. And I'm like, I got away. So a few days ago, I noticed that a house very close to mine was sold to somebody, okay? And I never really pay attention to who moves in or who's, you know what I mean? I mean, I kind of know who my neighbors are, but there's a lot of people out through here, so I try not to pay attention. But as I was on my way home the other day, I seen the people who were moving in. Oh my gosh. I have the worst luck possible, you all. Like, it is so crazy. Like, I don't know if somebody who figured out where I live at, even though I'm so good at not letting anybody know where I live, I don't know. I don't know how the heck this happened unless I just have the worst luck possible. Okay. Some of his family members are who bought the house. Like, very close to mine, okay? I can see their house from my house. They can see my house from their house. They've already seen me. They seen me as I was going by. I seen them. Oh my God. So he probably already knows where I live at. And that terrifies me. I did check, and he is still currently in jail. But the thoughts of him knowing where I live at and being able to easily send somebody here, send me letters again, send things to me again, terrifies me. The fact that his family lives so close to me, and when he does get out, he's going to be there, terrifies me. I had planned on moving very soon anyways, but the fact that this person is kind of like now forcing me to have to move is very upsetting to me, because I feel like this person holds so much control over my life, you know, like everything I do, I have to think about this, you know, and it's not something that I can just be like, oh, well, I'm not going to worry about it. I can't do that. I tried that. I've tried everything in the world, and nothing works, you know, and so many people have been like, okay, call the police when this happens. I do call the police, but it takes like 30-45 minutes for the police to even show up and respond to a call, and by the time they do show up, the person is gone. Whoever he sends is gone, or he's gone, he's ran off. They're very, very smart and clever, and I've went through so many bad things with this guy before that it's just not something that I'm willing to just wait around on, because I know he's going to send somebody to do something. Like, and now I'm having nightmares again and everything. And now I have to like watch, I have to totally watch out, like if I'm outside or I'm coming in or out of the house, or I'm not letting my children go outside because he's literally capable of having somebody kidnap one of my kids, like for money, for ransom. Like, no joke, you guys. You all have no idea the things that this guy has done to people and blackmailed people, and he would do anything, I'm telling you. And I don't know, like, this is so upsetting to me, and I feel so bad for anybody who is having to live with a stalker or somebody who is harassing them, because this is like the worst situation to be in. It is literally like somebody is just taking your freedom away, you know? And I mean, until I get moved, I'm just gonna have to be extra careful. Like even today, whenever I was coming home, I was having to watch, and I was talking to my friend on the phone, and I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. And what are the chances? Like, how does this keep happening, okay? Like a few years ago in my townhouse that I got, you know, and him and that girl ended up living right next to me, and then I get this new house, and I've lived here for like a year, and then here his family is now going to be living next to me. Like, what are the chances of this? Like, how does this happen out of all the houses in the world? Like, why do they have to pick the house that is next to my house, you know? It's such a shitty situation to be in, and it's a scary situation. And it's even scarier now that I have children, because literally when I was in the relationship with this guy, if I would have had kids and went through these things, my kids would be so traumatized that I wouldn't even be able to live with myself knowing that they had to see what this person put me through. And I'm so thankful that they weren't born yet, and they didn't have to see the situation that I was in. And I'm doing everything in my power to prevent anything bad happening. And I wish there were more resources for women who are dealing with a situation like this, because, I mean, literally, yeah, I get a restraining order. I've done that. He's not afraid of that. He's not afraid of any authority or anything to that nature. I don't know anything that he's afraid of. He literally likes to go to jail. It's like a second home to him. He literally would make himself prison food, knowing that, you know, we would have regular food in the fridge, we have an oven to cook, like whatever, and he would make all of his food prison style food. Things that he used to eat in prison, he would buy to eat at home because he missed it so much. Now, there's something mentally not right with this person. And I'm telling you, that is what makes it even worse, because he's almost unstoppable. And it's to the point to where I just don't know what to do. And I'm so tired of constantly living in fear and having to be so careful about what I post and where I go and where I live. And I have to watch everything around me. Like I was saying on my way home today and talking to my friend, you know, and I was like looking behind me, and there was some strange car that like followed me for 20 minutes today, and it really scared me. I've even told my attorney, like I have an attorney, and she's helped me with, you know, him before, and I'm like, what, you know, her best advice to me is to lay low and hide and move and be careful. What kind of life is that? Okay, if I can never like do anything, like, you know what I'm saying? And my only hope is moving far away, like moving to another state that's 14 or 15 hours away, that he can't easily just travel there and find me. That's the only thing that I know that I can do to protect myself from this stalker. I mean, I know he's still gonna stalk me online, but hopefully, like, I really hope and pray that moving out of state, like 13 or 14 hours away, he's not just gonna continuously show up there. And I'm not gonna count on his prison term, because before it would say, oh, he's got 5 or 6 years in prison for this, and they would let him out in like 1 year. They would let him out on probation, good behavior, And he's like a quadruple time felon. Like, he has had so many felony charges that I don't know how he has not got life in prison yet, but he hasn't. And even with him being in prison, I still have to deal with him sending people to follow me and stalk me, and him sending me letters and every single thing, and I don't know what else to do except for to move, you know? That's the only thing that I can do. Just really think that it's so bizarre. Every time I move, then one of his friends or family or baby mamas or somebody will end up moving and being my next door neighbor, and then I have to deal with him breaking in and doing all kinds of crazy fucked up shit to me. Like, nobody deserves to go through this. Like, I never did anything bad to him to deserve this. I'm sure some of you are probably thinking, like, why? You know what I mean? But never, like, it really upset him whenever I did want to get out of the relationship, and I begged him, you know, I was like, I will help you, like, if this is about money, because I paid for everything, you know. He didn't pay for anything. I guess I was like the sugar mama. Like, I begged him. I said, I will still, like, help you. I'll get you an apartment. Like, I will pay for things for you. Like, just please let me go. I was that desperate. And I really think that he has mental issues, and I really think that it is like a control thing to him, and him wanting absolute, complete control over women. I have spoke to other women, and I am not the only one he has done this to. Another crazy thing that I'm very sad and ashamed to admit to you guys is that he did make me get his name tattooed on me. This was before I knew that he was psychopath and crazy. It should have been a big red flag to me whenever he, like, was so pushy and getting me to get his name tattooed on me, but I was very young and dumb, really dumb, and I got his name tattooed on me, and come to find out, all of the women that he has done this to have his name tattooed on them. Tell me that that's not psychopath, okay? One girl has his name tattooed on the back of her neck. Another girl has his name tattooed on her wrist. Another girl has his name tattooed, like, right above her butt cheek. And I have his name tattooed across my ribs on my side. Like, we are a cult. And that is how he basically marks women and brands women. And how do I know this? He told me whenever he lived in the townhouse next to me and was like laughing at me for getting the restraining order on him, he was like, you have my name tattooed on you, that means I own you, you are mine, you will always be mine, and no matter what, I'm always going to find you, no matter what. Sick. It is so incredibly sick for a man to treat a woman like she is a possession, and for them to think that they own you, period. And of course, I had no idea that he just had these girls go get his name tattooed. I would have never got his name tattooed on me, period. I've learned my lesson. I'm not getting any more tattoos. I haven't got any more tattoos. Definitely never getting a guy's name tattooed on me, period. But like later on down the road, that was something that he said to me. He was like, oh my God, as long as you have my name tattooed on you, like basically that's my mark, you're mine, I own you. And then like I had found a couple previous girlfriends, and I was like, you know, oh my God, does he still do this to you? Like, am I the only one? Like, what is up? What is going on? And these girls were like, oh yeah, we got his name tattooed. Like, what the hell? I did not let the other girls know that I had his name tattooed on me because I did not want to look like an idiot, and I am embarrassed by it, you know. And whenever he brought it up to me on the phone and was like going off about how he owns me and he's gonna get me and he's always gonna own me, he mentioned the tattoo, and I was like, look, I don't have your name tattooed on me anymore. I had it removed, I had it covered up, blah blah blah, just because, you know, I thought maybe if he thinks it's gone, he'll leave me alone. I don't know. That didn't work though. I mean, he didn't care. I don't know. This is like a very bad situation for any girl to have to go through. Like, and I really feel for any girl who's having to deal with a crazy person like this, because you can't even sleep at night. I mean, you literally cannot live a free life, you know? Like, so I don't know, you guys. That's my story. That's what I'm dealing with. That's the story of my psycho stalker. And hopefully, once I move, like I said, he will not just come, 14 or 15 hours away and find me. Because I've moved states, okay? Like, I have moved to different states away from where his family lives. But I don't think I've moved far enough. Like, I've only moved like 2 or 3 hours away. I think literally moving like 15 hours away, I think that's far enough. I don't know. I mean, it may not be, but I'm praying that it is, and I'm hoping that it is. And I know a lot of people were like asking me, they were like, oh girl, like, why don't you do like a house tour of the outside of your house? Like, and I was like, no, I can't, I mean, so if there's ever some little piece of information or little piece of video that I don't show on here, that is why. Like, I've switched vehicles so many times. Like, I've traded my car in and kept trading it in for that very reason. Like, I have to be safe about what I share and what I show and what I'm doing, because it's not just about me anymore. Like, I have kids. I'm a mom now. Like, I am a mom, and I have to think about them, and I have to think about keeping my kids safe now, because I would die if anything happened to them. My kids are my number one priority, and I know in the past that he had taken one of his ex-girlfriend's kids and kept the kid, and it was like a month before she got the kid back, and he did it out of spite. This guy is so evil. Like, he's so evil, the things that he's done to people. This is why I have taken like self-defense classes and protected my home and tried to make things so secure, for my kids, because that is the most important thing to me, is keeping my kids safe. And I am thankful that he does not know their names, and online I do not put their names or anything like that, because the last thing I want is for him to like find out where they go to school or anything like that. It's so insane. Like, I feel like I have to live in a freaking box. Like, I don't know. All I know is if you have a stalker, or you're dealing with somebody in this situation, or you know someone in this situation, okay? Like, you never know what the person's going through. So many people have judged me through this situation of having this stalker and this guy, and they think, just call the police. It's not that easy, okay? I have called the police every single time, and I don't think people like realize that. They're like, call the police, do this, do that. Whenever you're dealing with somebody who is not afraid of the police don't help. And besides that, the police take about 45 minutes to show up, and by that time he's gone, or I could be dead. He's already beat me up, and I'm laying there bleeding, hurt, everything, and he's ran off somewhere, and the police never find him. I mean, it's absolutely terrible. I've been through this so many times that I try not to get depressed about it, because I have like PTSD from this guy, I think. I have like trauma and anxiety and nightmares and depression. But like I said, I have kids now, and I try to move past all that. Trying so hard not to live in fear. For my, like, I try not to let this affect my kids and their lifestyle, if that makes sense. But at the same time, like, I warn them not to talk to strangers, because that's a big fear of mine, like I said before. So yeah, it's a crazy situation. This is what I have to deal with in my life. It really sucks having a stalker and somebody like this. Like, I do not know. All I know that I can do is try to protect myself from him or anyone that he sends, and keep my home secure, And I really hope, like I said, anybody else out there, if you're dealing with somebody like this, to like use all of your resources that you can to take self-defense classes and make sure that your home is secure, and that try to be careful about what you post and never really post exactly where you are and things like that, because I'm telling you, these people, it is so easy for them to make fake accounts and track your location and all of these things. So try to stay strong during it. Like, that's my advice. I can't give any like successful tips on this. I wish I could. And if I ever like get rid of this guy to where I'm completely safe, I will let you all know. But it's hard to give like a success story of how I got rid of my stalker, because I haven't yet, and I'm still going through it. So all I can do is share like what I've been through so far in my story, and hope that it helps somebody out there and bring awareness, because I know, like, I think not a lot of people understand how serious it is and how serious it can be when you are dealing with a stalker, and when you're in this situation. It can be so dangerous, and it's like so many hardships in your life and struggles, physically, mentally, emotionally. It really prevents you from doing all the things that you really want to do in your life, because you have to literally live in fear and anxiety, and you're always like having to watch. And you know, I'm telling you, it's awful, but I'm trying so hard. I'm going to therapy. I'm trying so hard to move past it, but I feel like every time I start to move past it and I feel like I'm finally safe, he shows back up, or his family shows up, or somebody. Guys, that is my situation with my stalker, and now I'm having to move soon, because I cannot deal with the fact that his family is going to be living extremely close to me. Like, literally last night I was up 4 or 5 times. I was having nightmares. It's insane, and I don't want to take the chance of continuing to stay here. So I don't know. I will keep you all updated on me moving and everything, and I'm doing everything that I can to stay safe and keep my home safe and me and the kids safe. And I think that that's all I can do, besides pray about it and think positive and try not to let the whole situation just drive me crazy and depress me. I also want to add in here that whenever you are starting out dating somebody, especially nowadays, please, please, please be careful and try to really find out as much as you can about the person that you are dating before you share too much private information with the person, because you never truly know. I mean, it's sad that we live in a world that you have to like be careful. But I mean, I have been in relationships before, like with this person, like so many things he told me was a lie, and I was manipulated and trapped into the situation. So try to always be on the lookout for red flags whenever you're dating somebody, and keep yourself safe and protected, because your safety is so important, and your mental health and your well-being is so important. No one deserves to go through this. As always, I love you guys so, so much. I really appreciate you all taking the time to watch my videos and sending me your love and support and all of your sweet emails and DMs. I've been reading all of them and responding to all of you. I think I have a few more that were sent today that I haven't responded to yet, but do not worry, I will reply to you guys. I always love reading your messages and hearing your all stories, and I love the tips that you all send me, and I love giving you all advice when I can. I feel like that's what we all need to do, is support each other and be there for each other. I always try to answer your all's DMs and emails as quickly as possible. So never feel like you can't DM me or email me, because my inbox is always open to you guys. That is all that I have for you all today. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to become part of our family. I love you all so, so much, and I will see you in my next video.